Hello.
Welcome back. It feels like about 2 days ago that we filmed the last one.
I think it's because we did Wednesday, didn't we?
Yeah. Welcome back to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast. Leo doesn't say it because he thinks it's cringy.
Yeah, weirdly cringes me out.
Episode number 20. That's crazy, man. Well done.
Yeah. Just been watching episode 1
Yeah.
and watched a bit of episode 10.
Yeah. I tell you what, I might link episode 1 because it's a banger.
Yeah, it is quality.
Sorry, the border on it though is great.
Yeah,
What
we
were
thought
we
it
thinking?
was clean. We thought it was clean and it just wasn't clean.
Yeah.
The thing that depresses me is how tanned we were. On
Oh
episode,
yeah, no, I look so
episode
white
1.
now. Especially this light. We've got a light here that like lights us up, and it's pure white. So whenever
Yeah.
it's filming us,
We just look really
yeah,
pale.
that's literally what
I mean,
I've
we're
got
pale
there to make
we're
us look
pale
more
anyway.
tanned.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to episode 20. We got a Q&A special because we've actually got some questions from you chaps.
Oh yeah.
Um,
These are actually from mine. Most of mine. I got one this week, and then I got 3 last week, but they were asked after we'd recorded
yeah,
the pod.
me too.
So
Me also. You said we got a little few comments from someone as well. Might as well
Yeah.
give him a little shout out.
he says he watches every episode. Well, we hadn't seen his comments.
He said, "Big up the guys commenting for the algo.
And then, but if you click on it,
24k wills."
he also commented. He's had 2 comments. So he's had that and one more. And he put, "Don't worry, I watch every episode, guys." And that was on the 2025 goal setting, which was 2 weeks ago.
Right,
So thank you, Will.
I might be wrong here, but Will's got an account about AI and how to write stuff. You don't think he's trying to rizz it up, is it?
Yeah, bro might just be an AI bro.
Anyway, well, thanks for commenting, mate.
Even though it's
Hopefully
probably
in-
an AI bot or
It
something.
might be, but Will, if it's actually you,
Thank
thanks.
you. If it's not you, fuck you.
So yeah, should we kick it straight off? Do you want to go for mine or do you want to go for yours?
Yeah, you go first. Go on.
I might be struggling.
Okay, I'll go
Just
first.
gotta
Right.
find it.
So, number 1 from Mitchell. He's actually asked 2.
Really? Thanks,
Okay.
Mitch.
So,
Mitchell.
he actually really enjoys the pod. Every time I see him at Bawtry, he's like, "Pod were good this week."
Really?
Thanks, Mitch, mate. So I tell him to keep tuning in. So he asked, "How many days a week would you advise to train?"
Well, this is a very deep question.
Yeah.
I hate to be one of those guys, but probably depends.
Yeah, it's such a tough. I wish I could just go 5.
Yeah,
But
I think there's two avenues you can go down with choosing a split, choosing the amount of days you train, choosing the exercises you do. One avenue is for the bros that the enjoyable nature of training will come from maximal progress.
yeah.
And the answer to that is different to the guys that want to train, get some progress, but also have the really want to enjoy it, and the enjoyment doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
come from getting pure progress.
Yeah.
Which I think for most people it probably does go down the progress route.
Yeah, for the majority, like,
But I know there's some exercises that we do that might not be quote unquote optimal.
yeah, but
But
they're
are good.
really enjoyable. Yeah, so
And I do think there's an argument of if it's enjoyable enough, you're probably going to progress it better than if it wasn't enjoyable.
yeah, no, I think there's definitely an argument for that.
Yeah.
If I was going in every session and doing like cuffed single arm pull downs and like,
Yeah.
I'd just be like, this is so boring.
You just wouldn't be putting a shift in.
Yeah, so I'd rather strike the balance of actually doing movements that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, for a good example for us is the like the bench.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably not that optimal really.
Yeah. But
It's
it's
fun.
it's close enough to get good
Yeah.
progress and it's enjoyable.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer his question, I think optimal would be 4 or 5.
4 or 5 ideally.
3 is also okay.
Yeah.
But probably if you're quite early on in your training, it's going to be better than if you were quite
Advanced.
Advanced.
More advanced.
And by advanced, I don't necessarily mean like you've been training 5 years. I mean purely, have you got a lot of muscle?
Yeah.
Because I think there's plenty of guys that have trained 10 years and
And they've not got that much muscle. 'cause
haven't
the training's
progressed that much.
Probably not been that great.
Yeah. So early on, 3 days a week or 4. A bit more progressed, 4 or 5.
I think as well, you need to look at probably the actual quality of your sessions and be
Yeah.
honest with yourself. Because if you're doing, let's say you think, oh, I need to just train as much as I can, so you're doing 5 sessions a week. If those sessions aren't good quality because you're just trying to cram them in and just do what you can, you're probably going to have more benefit from lowering your frequency and just having better sessions.
Yeah.
And a lot of people as well, like, if you don't enjoy training that much, you don't enjoy going to the gym that much, but you want to make progress, like, you'd rather go less times, just put more effort in. I think that, for me, that's the key thing with people, especially when you get a new client. I rarely start new clients on 5 days per week, unless they've already been training, like you said, and they're a bit more advanced, because a lot of them don't actually really want to go to the gym. They just want to make progress.
And then the other thing on that is, if you are early on and you are training 5 days a week, you probably don't have the awareness to know if you are just sore but recovered, or are you like recovering really easily. It's harder to tell.
You don't know, do you?
So, but for anyone asking this question, they probably want to make as much progress as they can.
But, so he does, because I've spoke to him quite a few times. He wants to make progress, but I do think there's part of him that is just trying to cram stuff in for the sake of it. Maybe potentially you could lower the amount of days he's going and just make sure that those sessions are actually effective, rather than going, oh, I need to go and I'll just like half-arse it today. Still got another 3 sessions or whatever.
I think it probably then comes down to the split of choice as well. Again, if you're just starting out, like, you could do 3 or even 4 lots of full body, but the enjoyment side of that is like pretty mid at least for most people.
Very mid.
So, I tend to lean towards, if you're doing 4, I tend to lean towards upper lower. If you want to train legs twice a week, or probably not, or the push posterior, upper lower, or posterior push upper lower type split.
I think the best for most people to get the most enjoyment 4 days is upper lower push pull. I think that's probably the one people are going to enjoy the most.
No, definitely. And if you are wanting to train 5, go to a push pull legs upper lower, or like similar to what we do. There's like, I don't even know how you'd explain it. Push pull with a hinge. So kind of posterior, but we don't do any extra hammies.
Any hammy work now.
Wednesday rest. Thursday is another upper session, mostly push. Yours is a bit more pull.
Mine's
biased,
more back, Mine's more like posterior.
And then legs, and then the last day is like kind of top ups.
It's just a top up for the sort of weaker points, which I actually quite like. But again, that's more for if you've been training quite a while and you can see weaker spots within your physique, then that's definitely something you should consider.
Yeah, that's pretty well answered, I think. Also, make sure you actually can be consistent with it. Because I always speak to clients and they're like, oh yeah, I fancy training 5 days a week. And then I go, okay, can you do that every single week?
They're like,
and
no.
they go, maybe.
That comes back to, again, though, even if they can on that week where they're like, maybe, that 5th session or whatever session it is probably just going to be a get in, get out. As quick as you can, not really take any sort of progress from it.
So to answer directly, 4 or 5 days a week, you're going to make the most progress you can. 3 is also okay, probably more so if you're a super beginner or in your first few years of training. And I
think that's it. Pretty well covered that.
I got a question from. Sorry, you're gonna.
I was just gonna say nothing above 5 days as well.
No, do not do 6 or 7.
Don't be doing that.
The only time you'd be doing 6 or 7 is if you were trying to integrate a lot of cardio stuff as well, like you were trying to get better at running, and then you'd class that as a training session.
But it's not actually a weights training session. Right, Go on, next one.
Marston PT.
Super listener, by the way.
Yeah, he's the goat.
He is probably the goat.
And the sharing goat.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the giveaway is still on.
Yeah.
If you want to share it to your story, we're going to do a little
prize giveaway.
Little random prize giveaway, which we actually need to send. I've literally got 40 monsters downstairs that
need to be sent out.
Yeah, this was one of them, to be fair.
Drink them all.
Yeah, but I'll be sending them out. What is your favourite / most challenging aspect of coaching? So I suppose this is 2 questions. Start off with your favourite. What's your favourite aspect of coaching?
You asking me?
Yeah. No, I'm just asking.
Is it just
asking the
can
audience?
it just be can it be like a couple of things?
Yeah.
So
Expand.
first one I'd say is obviously just being able to help people
Yeah.
and actually having a benefit on their life.
Do you know
Not
what?
even just a
No.
not even just like a physique,
I'll let you cook.
like a I'm cooking. Not even just seeing progress within their physique, but for a lot of people, just like a whole mindset shift
Yeah.
towards everything.
Yeah.
Like when you actually have those clients, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you've done a good job.
Yeah. It's like Boris.
Yeah.
He is absolutely cooked
Yeah.
that transformation he
Cooked
posted.
hard, yeah.
And like he probably didn't think that he'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
At least in
That's
13 weeks.
But that again, I think we spoke about this before. It comes down to the client
Yeah.
as well. Like, I can't take all the credit for that.
Yeah.
because I've obviously given him the tools and the advice, the feedback, and stuff like that. But he's still gone and put all the work in
Sounds like he's
himself.
been really coachable.
Oh yeah, he's so easy to coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a blessing, man.
Yeah. Cheers, boss.
Cheers, Boris. I don't think he listens to the pod. So
Oh, mate.
peak.
I was going to say, I was going to say two things. One
Go on.
thing, I think sometimes you can get a little bit numb to the like transformations that you make and not really realize that it's actually like
It's actually
pretty
really
impressive.
good. Yeah, I think when you get like a few really good ones,
yeah,
some of the ones that maybe aren't as impressive. For example, like obviously, again, Boris had a lot of muscle anyway,
yeah,
so his transformation is always going to look better.
yeah.
But when you actually get a transformation where, okay, someone's just started the gym,
Mm.
do you know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't look as good on paper, but
Yeah.
it actually probably is a better
Yeah, at least in the actual,
transformation.
in the purely the photo. Yeah, I agree. The second thing I was going to cook on was just got really riled up for a second. It really annoys me when coaches are like, oh yeah, I just want to help as many people as possible. And then there's like nothing at all to back that up. They're just like chatting absolute rubbish.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I think we not to pat my own back.
No, but we've got to, and
I think we are quite prolific at that statement.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
like even
100%.
people that message on Instagram, like we send them free stuff all the time.
Yeah, we are always trying to help people.
Yeah.
It's a simple, like this. It's a
So-
fact, man. It's factos.
Like genuinely no cap. If you actually do have any questions,
Just
put them in the
ask.
pod box. Like
Yeah,
that's
you're
kind of
not
what
gonna
this
get.
is for
You're
as
not
well.
going to get an invoice through email. Or
I'll send you my PayPal, mate.
Yeah, we're always very happy to help.
Yeah. So that's a nice favourite. Anything else?
I was also going to say it's a bit like I don't really know what the word is, but another favourite thing is just the ability that you can create a life that you want to live.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I love coaching people,
Yeah.
and you love getting transformations and things like that and helping people. We've also got to be like selfish as well
Yeah.
and say you're able to create a life that you want to live in terms of you can work from anywhere,
Yeah.
choose your hours, things like that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it is a big motivator. And
Yeah.
when,
Definitely.
again, it comes back to the coaches when they're like, you see a lot of people say like, oh, it's not all glamorous and all this and stuff. Like, yes, it's not, but it is.
It is quite good.
It is. Like, it's a very good job
Yeah.
to have.
Yeah. It basically
Like,
takes
it
up.
really annoys me that because they're just saying it to try and like
Yeah.
be a good guy, but
Yeah. It's very fulfilling.
yeah,
Like you say, you can choose your hours somewhat. I think that's probably a bit of a blessing, but a curse as well.
Yeah.
But still, you can choose your hours. And it's not that mentally draining.
yeah.
At least the actual
No.
coaching aspect of it.
I think the main thing that makes it not that mentally I can
There you
hear
go,
singing
sing it.
downstairs.
Yeah.
The thing that makes it not that mentally draining is obviously the fact that you don't have to be anywhere at a certain time.
Yeah.
And like when you're working like a 9 till 5 and you've got someone telling you to be there at a certain time, it's like
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not pleasant, is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah. Like I say, I think there's always a push and pull,
Yeah.
but generally it's pretty positive, isn't
Yeah, it's good. It's brilliant.
it? Any other favourites?
No, I think that's probably it.
Yeah, I'd agree.
What do you say? Anything else
Like
that you
you said,
really think this is this is awesome.
I think what's quite good is I quite enjoy the whole aspect of it, of you wearing multiple hats. Like, it's not really just one job. You're not doing the exact same thing every day.
You are to a degree, but every client is going to be different and different goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're like an accountant or something, you're pretty much doing the same thing every single day, which obviously is pretty mind-numbing.
Yeah. I also think I can see why, if there was a coach that was doing it completely on their own, I feel like I'd get quite I just wouldn't be speaking to enough.
No, you wouldn't speak to people, would you?
Yeah, and you're purely working on your own in your office. Yeah. I can imagine that gets a little bit long, but
yeah, and you're sort of trapped in your own brain all the time.
Got you, man. It's cute.
You, man. Worst thing.
Most challenging aspect of coaching.
You go first. I've got a good one in mind.
I don't want to steal yours.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Wait, is it on shoot?
Yeah, all right, we'll do that.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
yes! Wait, so what was it? The most challenging?
The most challenging aspect.
Two things again. Number one is you're never going to fully switch off.
Yeah, defo.
Like, obviously, again, 9 till 5, like, you have your weekend. You don't have to think about work. Obviously, Sunday comes around and you do have to probably think, oh, shit, I've got work tomorrow. But even on Saturdays and Sundays, like, there's never really a time where I'm not thinking, oh, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Or oh, I need to reply to that person.
Yeah.
Like, a good example of this was I was at Hannah's nan's birthday. And, like, we were sat, obviously I was having a good time. But, like, you start seeing, like, my watch was going off with, like, WhatsApp notifications. I'm thinking, shit, it's getting late. Like, I need to reply to these people, whatever. So that for me is probably the most challenging thing.
Yeah.
Is there can't be a day where you can just be like, oh, I'm not going to bother today.
I think some people suggest to try and set, like, pretty hard deadline work hours and all that. But
yeah.
I honestly think that makes it more stressful than not, for me at least.
Yeah, because then
like, if I'm sat there on the sofa and it's past my end of day work hours, let's say 6 o'clock or whatever, and I get a message and I'm not doing anything else, I'm not just going to, like,
you might as well reply
like,
to
what?
it. A lot of the time as well, but like you said, past like 6 o'clock, like your main sort of work is done. It's nothing like strenuous that you're going to be doing after that time.
Yeah, basically after that, it's just speaking to people.
Yeah, like you can sit on the sofa, you can watch TV, but also just be on your phone replying to messages.
Yeah,
it's not hard work, is it?
And you've obviously got to appreciate that most people are working till 5, so when they do speak to you, it's going to be after
work. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd agree.
And then number 2 is probably unadherent clients.
Yeah, I was going to touch on this.
And again, I get this. You have to be adaptable as a coach for each client. And you're always going to have people who aren't as adherent and aren't going to put much effort in. So you do have to just sort of keep that in mind. But it is frustrating.
Yeah, I think that there's a difference between struggling to adhere and not adhering. Because the guys that struggle to adhere will then voice it and tell you and say what's going on, and then you can work around it.
It's more like the ones who don't adhere, but then they'll do their check-in, or they won't message you throughout the week letting you know that they're struggling with this, or... Do you know what I mean? I'd rather... People sometimes are probably scared to be too honest.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, to be open about, slips up on Monday, Tuesday, whatever.
Right, it's better to just be honest.
Yeah, you're better off finding it out on Tuesday than finding it out on a Sunday. Yeah. And then speaking to them on Monday about it when it's like late. A week later.
Late then,
yeah, I'd agree. I was going to say the same thing, like people... I think it's very... Once you understand principles of a transformation, then you work it down into strategies for that individual. Yeah. That whole side of things is quite easy once you have got a good understanding of it all, of training, nutrition, recovery, etc. That's all like just knowledge that you then apply to people. The difficulty is like more the psychology side of stuff, because I think you can know as much as you want about psychology. Like I did it for 4 years basically. and sometimes the things that you learn in that, they're not principles that definitely work.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you progressive overload your training, you will grow muscle.
Yeah.
If you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose body weight.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that applies like that within the psychology realm.
An actual mindset.
So it's a lot more like, oh, let's try this and see what happens.
Yeah, there's no actual proper solution.
Yeah. Like, you can do as much as you want on goal setting and visualizing stuff, etc., writing it all down, drawing. I was telling someone yesterday to, like, get a piece of paper, draw like what you look like in 6 months and what position you look like you're in, and that's like one option that could help someone expand their why.
Yeah, and like you're saying, but that might not work for someone else. So it's obviously frustrating, but again, it's part of the job.
Yeah. I think it's just a lot more trial and error, so it takes longer to crack sometimes.
I do think as well, though, we're probably getting out of that stage now. I think maybe when you first start coaching and you're offering like lower ticket, and you might even be coaching people for free, whatever, obviously then adherence is inevitably going to be worse, unless it's someone who really, really wants to progress. If they're not paying for a service.
Well, you can boil it all the way down to like the free stuff that we give out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's actually really good information, and if you do it, you'll get a really good result. But because you've not got that like personal investment in terms of time and money, you're less likely to be adherent to it. Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thanks for the question, Marston.
Yeah,
Marston
good
PT.
cue. Keep the cues up, Marston.
Really
PT.
good cue.
I would like to know his actual name.
Is that his first name?
I didn't know. I think Marston's his second
name. Yeah.
Maybe it says on his Instagram. Right, you ready for the next cue?
Yeah, hit me.
From Mitchell again. Thanks, Mitchell. Legend.
Mitchell the GOAT.
How many meals a day would you recommend?
Oh,
this is very similar to training. Very, very similar. It's basically the same answer.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're looking at like the main thing that people consider on this for meal timings is getting like regular protein intake. So you get the muscle protein synthesis spike.
It's just like meh. Like
yeah, I mean, if it was 5 years ago and we were talking about this, I'd probably have agreed with it. Sort of like 4 or 5 protein servings throughout the day, fairly evenly split up. Be talking about like trying to make sure you're getting a reasonable amount to absorb, but not too much that you're wasting it. But like honestly, now it seems like that's just a load of cap.
Yeah.
So in terms of like a protein serving, if you're on 100 grams and you get to your last meal and you're like, oh dear, I've not had a great day here.
Yeah.
And then you slam another 100 grams of protein.
It's not the end of the world.
It's actually probably going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be the best thing to do every day, stressing about getting your protein in your last meal? Probably not.
Yeah.
But it's less of a consideration now, I think.
Yeah, I do think generally 4 or 5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you take into account, right, if you're in a deficit, obviously food's going to be lower. You're going to be hungry throughout the day. So if you're having all your food in 2 meals, yes, those meals are going to be bigger, but you're only having 2 food servings in a day.
Yeah.
So you're probably still going to feel pretty hungry. So if you have 4, obviously you can have smaller meals, but more frequently.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to make you feel more satiated. And then flip side, if you're in a surplus, obviously food's going to be high.
Yeah.
Appetite's probably going to be pretty low, especially if you're deep into a surplus. So if you're trying to get all your food in 2 meals, it's going to be very hard. So again, splitting it up into smaller meals, more frequent, for most people, is going to be easier.
I tend to go, if they're in a gaining phase and like their meals are getting up to like 700-800 calories, that's when I usually add another meal rather than pushing it to like 900,000 calorie meal.
There's nothing worse than sitting there and being like,
chewing down on a meal.
I'm struggling to eat. No one wants to do that, do they? So.
It's fine when it's a one-off and you're out for a nice meal at a restaurant, but when it's like
every day,
every single day, trying to chew down 200 grams of rice in one meal, it's like rough.
No one wants to be doing it, do they?
So yeah, probably go 4.
I think for the majority of my clients, they're on 4.
Yeah. Have one of them as a pre-workout meal.
Yeah.
Have one of them as like a end of day protein top up, so that you can essentially scale it if you need to. Like yogurt,
Yeah.
whatever, something like that.
Something easy.
And then most of the time 4. If your food's high, probably go 5.
Yeah.
6 if you need to, but then you're eating every like 2 hours.
Yeah. I do think as well, if it's needed, you could do 3.
Yeah, you could.
Especially if you're someone who's working and you actually you physically can't eat at work.
Yeah.
And you only have like a break or a lunch break, and then before or after work, then just do it. But again, you can probably still make it 4.
Yeah.
Morning, at work, after work, then you might train, and then something again, like you said, like some sort of protein serving.
Yeah.
Before bed, whatever.
Yeah. I also think if your protein's like maybe 150 plus, it's quite difficult to get that in 3 meals.
Yeah.
Like you're having a lot of meat
and it is so satiating. So again, the whole thing of just sitting there and chewing for ages.
I also think it cans off quite a few meal options because, you know, if you're having a meal with like eggs, it's quite hard to get it above 30 grams of protein unless you're having like 6 eggs, which is just a bit weird.
You just don't really want to be doing that. Yeah.
Let's not be going through a box every day.
Yeah. I remember when I first started trying to like gain weight when I was in like 6th form. And I'd be having like probably 3 meals, like pre-school, lunch, after school, and you'd be trying to slam like 1,000 calories in each meal. It's like the worst thing ever.
It's so rough, isn't it?
Yeah. So then I remember going, like, okay, I'm gonna have 4 meals. I'm gonna eat a break as well as lunch and after 6th form, and that helped so much.
Yeah.
Especially like Mitchell, he's at school.
Yeah.
So he could have morning, break, lunch, after school.
Yeah.
And if he needs to, he can have 1 more meal.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing is like knowing when you're going to have them.
Yeah, just routine, plan it, structure it.
And there's little things you can do. Like if you're struggling to, like Kizza was struggling to hit his protein, and then I was like, okay, just have yogurt at the end of the day.
Yeah,
add a scoop of protein if you need to.
And all of a sudden, like 60 grams of protein.
You went from getting like 120 grams of protein a day and struggling to get it higher to now like 160 easily.
Yeah, so I had that with Bri, Max's missus, and at first she just wanted to follow macros and do her own meal plan. So I was like, oh, that's fine, makes my life easier. But then she messaged me saying she was really struggling to get her protein in. She was like, oh, should I buy protein powder and stuff like this? And I said, like, let me just make you a meal plan.
Yeah.
Make it like exciting so it's not boring. And it's made things a lot easier. Like I remember thinking, I was like, I think a protein was at like 120 grams.
Yeah, nothing outrageous.
So I was like, okay, you shouldn't really be struggling. But that's from our like sort of mindset. Obviously, when you're clued up, it's easy. But if you're not too sure, it's hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because you end up having like for your breakfast, a normal person might just have some like Weetabix.
Yeah, and then you look at that, you got like
sick, 10
like
grams.
10 grams, yeah, and you're muddered.
Yeah, unfortunately, like if you do that for one of your meals out of 3 in the day,
you're struggling.
It's like
you're struggling big
the next
time.
2 meals are going to have to be 80 grams of protein.
It is strange, though, isn't it? Like I actually think, again with Bri, like she probably eats before she like started trying to like get into the gym and stuff. She was probably eating like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I don't think I did that. Well, other like I probably did when I was at school, maybe. But if I wasn't like doing this, I still think I'd eat more than 3 meals a day.
Yeah, I always have.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's just
The majority of people literally eat like 2-3 meals a day. I'm like,
you're not starving.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't understand it. But yeah, strange.
That's one of the best feelings with coaching when someone drops like a few kilos in the first week and then they go, I don't really get how this is happening.
Yeah,
I'm so full.
I'm so full. I'm struggling to eat the food.
Yeah.
It's just being a bit smarter with choices, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, makes things so much easier.
Yeah. So probably what, 4 meals a day?
4,
Sound?
yeah.
If you need to, go 5.
I'm trying to read the question.
No.
Trying to
Upside down,
preempt.
Is this guy?
Have you got another one?
Don't think so.
We're half an hour in already. Nice.
That was from last week. No, I don't think so.
Right, so Guy, Guzzy Woo, best question of the pod.
Oh, God.
Good topic of discussion. I think Guy's asking this because he's had a run-in.
I'm seriously dreading this question.
I don't know why. I don't know why he's thinking of this, but I think he might have had a similar run-in to this. So, if Margaret Robbie
oh, God.
was a tranny, and you knew she was a tranny, Would you bum her?
I'm sure I've asked guys. I'm sure he asked me a similar question, like personally.
Yeah, personally, private.
Hi mate, just wondering.
I think you must have been in a similar situation.
I say, guy, this is a bit close to home, isn't it?
Okay, so what's your
sorry.
answer? So if Margaret Robbie was a tranny and you knew she was a tranny, would you bum her? And if Mum, if you're watching this is from Guy. How immature of him.
So much. I'm sorry, you can't say yes.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Sorry, this is presuming that you're a single bloke as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't, but you can't even be considering this. It's horrendous.
It's a fact. The thing that's thrown me off is if you knew she was a tranny.
Wait, is that prefaced in the question?
Yeah, if Margaret Robbie was a tranny and you knew she was, would you bum her?
Surely it's a no.
Yeah, I think it would be a no. But I think maybe if I didn't know.
Well, if you didn't know,
if I didn't know,
obviously
I wouldn't know. Then yeah,
obviously you wouldn't know.
Yeah. So guys, it's actually a bit of a stupid question.
You wouldn't be
Because-
speaking to someone that was really good looking and then be thinking in your head, this
Yeah,
person might
okay.
be a bloke here.
Okay, so what if, right? Yeah, she's a tranny, but she's been a female for, I don't know. I don't really know why this would make a difference. She's been a female for like 10 plus years. She's had the old job lot done. There's nothing male about her.
No,
Like, he's actually Margaret Robbie.
No, but there is something male.
Yeah, but what if she's had a job lot done?
She's still a bloke, or maybe that could be out of line now.
Yeah, that is out of line. She's still cancel him.
I actually don't know.
Cancel him now. It's tough because if you're being mature about it, right, it shouldn't matter.
What do you mean it shouldn't matter?
It shouldn't, should it? Right? Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't matter.
Right. How have you come to that conclusion?
No, I don't know how to say this, but like, in the grand scheme of things, if you were talking like morally,
you can't just say in the grand scheme and then it.
No, but like morally,
okay,
she's a transvestite and you liked them, and you wanted to do the deed.
Oh yeah, of course.
It shouldn't matter.
Oh
yeah.
no, then it doesn't matter. No.
Yeah, but you're saying but she's a bloke, so it does matter. Yeah, but it shouldn't matter, should it? If we're being mature.
Okay. Well, basically what you've said there is if you're not attracted to blokes, then it's okay to not be attracted to blokes.
Yeah, true. But do you understand what I'm trying to say?
You basically just said if you're gay, then it's all right. Obviously.
Well, yeah, but the way you were saying it was like there was something wrong with she's a tranny.
No,
that's what I'm trying to
definitely
say.
not.
I'm waiting for HL's. Definitely not.
No, if for
trying so hard not to dig yourself a hole.
Yeah, for my personal preferences.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Then,
you'd rather not. You'd rather it just be a female,
yeah,
a biological female.
Yeah,
it's a tough one though, isn't it? Right, because like they're actually not biologically a female.
No,
but they kind of are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, if they've had the
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
well,
tough.
To be honest, I probably wouldn't even know. I don't even know what the crack is there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what if they didn't tell you?
Yeah.
What would you do then if you had no idea?
Maybe we need Guy on the pod to ask this.
I don't know how you deal with that situation.
Guy, how do you deal with that guy? so yeah. But anyway, why is Guy asking this?
I don't know. Just really
especially the fact that you knew she was a tranny.
Can I see the question?
Yeah, of course you can.
so he has prefaced it.
Yeah, well, why? But surely he knows what our answer is going to be to that and what his answer should be.
Should be. He can do what he wants, mate.
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but
can I actually just like check?
I just think it's a very strange question for him to ask. Like, is he expecting us to go? Yeah, I'd bum her. I know she's a bloke. I'd bum her.
I'm just making sure I got the description right. A person who dresses in clothes primarily associated with the other sex, typically used of a man. Yeah, so it's not necessarily someone that's transitioned. I don't know. I actually don't know what the correct terminology is for someone that's transitioned from female to male, do you?
No.
Are you like
Sex
filming this or
change.
something?
No, I'm just replying to his message on my story.
Let's have a look. What's
I'm outing him.
the name for a man who has transitioned? That would be a trans man. Sorry, what? So there is a difference between a transvestite and a transgender man. Yeah. So a transvestite is someone that dresses like that. A trans man.
Transvestite is someone who hasn't had any
Yeah.
like surgical procedures.
Yeah.
So they are still a bloke.
So a transvestite is purely someone that just dresses like that. A transgender is someone that identifies as a man that was a female or vice versa.
Okay, so a tranny.
Regardless of if they had the surgery or not.
Okay, so in Guy's question, a tranny is that a transvestite? Yeah. So it is actually a bloke. They're just dressing like Margot Robbie.
Oh, it says dictionary noun, and then in a big exclamation mark, offensive.
Well,
a transvestite or transgender.
We didn't ask the
Hold
question.
on. This is a transvestite or a transgender person. So it could be like we need some serious details going into this question, else we just don't know.
More taking punts in the dark, really, aren't we?
Although I think the answer would stay the same. And guys, stop using the word tranny, mate. It's an offensive and derogatory slur.
Not clever.
Oh,
I've got one more question as well, actually.
Yeah, man.
So this is from Lats, Mr. Tom Latham.
Really?
Again,
Cheers, Lats.
I don't think he watches the pod. I think he just wanted to ask this question. Is relegation inbound for AFC Buca? So for anyone who doesn't know, AFC Buca is our six-a-side football team.
Yeah.
That we all participate in.
Best football team in the game.
Well, clearly not, because
No.
he's saying, are we inbound for relegation?
No.
And to be honest, Lats, I don't think we are.
I actually have no idea where we're at in the
I think
table,
we're actually pretty high up because we got given some wins.
Yeah. Also, we did draw that game. Or was that last season?
Draw?
Didn't we get like a 1-1 draw or something?
No, we won that one game 1-0.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 1-0.
When we just got back.
Was that last season?
From Prague. No, that was the first game this season.
Right.
So after that was when we were like, fucking hell, we're going to win the league because they won the league last year.
Yeah.
And since then, we've lost like 8-0, 6-0, 4-0, 4-0 again.
Basically, we can't score and we can't defend.
We're just shy.
Sort of like the whole point of football, really.
Yeah. So I think if we hadn't been given the wins, yes, we probably would be going down.
No, I think we're building up to something though.
Yeah, I think today, because it's 40 day today.
Yeah.
Today's going to be the day we get back on track.
Put 10 past them.
Yeah, we'll fucking put 10 past them.
Easy. So yeah, hopefully not. Fingers crossed, mate. But just got to string some wins together. Get scoring. Your job, lads.
We need you lads to pull through it off the bench.
Yeah.
Or is he on the bench today? No, he's not, but it doesn't matter. I can say that because...
Why, have you got the debrief
I know
for the SLT?
team. I know the team, yeah.
Am I in net again?
Yeah, you are, I think.
Yeah, man.
But I think we all said that if you want to come out, then someone else can go in for the second half.
I don't mind, especially if I'm putting a performance in. I actually don't mind.
HL, right?
Net, but
HL's played in net twice. His first game, I generally thought he might have a future in Premier League football in net.
Second game.
And last week, I'm having me doubts. I'm really having me doubts.
It was a different story. I'm blaming the lights, to be honest. I said at the start of the game, I said, these lights are blinding me a bit here.
Yeah, you were playing a bit odd.
Yeah.
Like, you were saving the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And letting in the easy
what is
stuff.
That
I
about?
was like, what is going on with your hands, mate?
Yeah, the hard ones I was saving. The ones that, like, there was one that literally went straight through my legs.
You're better when it's like a 1v1 and you've got to, like, come out to them.
Yeah. If they're in the box, I can just attack
But if they shoot from, like, a weird angle.
Yeah. To be honest, it's quite hard to save it when they're, like, 4 foot away.
Yeah.
Like,
well, obviously,
I've just got no reaction time.
You can't.
So I think this week, if they're in the box, I'm just going.
Yeah.
And
if charge it.
If someone gets on the back post to save a little squirter, then I'll just attack it.
Yeah, just charge. I actually think it is best in that. Just charge at them.
Yeah.
Shut them down.
Because there was one last week that I did that, and it got a bit squirty, but
we somehow pulled through.
Yeah, we pulled through, and I think we just got to put the pressure on. So that's going to be my mindset this week. So just take some legs out.
Yeah, just start snapping people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good pod.
Yeah. Bit all over the shop, to be honest.
Spent
But
about half an hour talking about would we bum tranny or not.
transvestite or transgender. I don't know.
And sorry,
That's
but
probably
like, serious, if we have offended anyone,
Yeah, we're naive to the
we're not meaning to be offensive.
no, and
But we
what's the
understand
word?
potentially some things could have been
Yeah,
offensive.
naive to the terminology. The dictionary just told me it could be offensive, so
Sorry about that.
hopefully it wasn't. Although, to be honest, if there's 20 people watching this, the odds of one of them being a transgender
Could
is
be though. Could be.
fairly low.
It could be.
Maybe.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Never know. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed episode 20. Share it to your story, like and subscribe.
Yes, please share it to your fucking story.
And
If you're watching, you literally might as well.
episode 21 next week. See you then.
See you.
Bye.